Paul, people are rightly furious about this because they know that what is also coming down the pipe is probably higher bills for them to pay to improve things.
That's exactly right. And we just set out the full picture of what the Environment Agency has recorded today. It is sewage outflows into rivers and waterways that happen most often when there's heavy rainfall. It's a safety valve, if you like, although there's nothing safe about what's coming out of these pipes, to prevent water backing up into people's homes. A doubling of the number of hours that sewage outflows have been pouring into waterways to 3.6 million hours. That's up from 1.75 million in 2022, and more than 470,000 incidents across last year. Every sewage outflow in the country now has a monitor on it, so these incidents are recorded, and this is one of the points, one of the mitigating factors the water companies and the Environment Agency make, is that we now know every time this happens. So that may be one reason why these numbers are increasing. It was one of the wettest years on record last year, when there is heavy rainfall, because wastewater, rainwater and sewage share the same infrastructure. When there is heavy rain, this is what happens. You have the sewage flowing into water. Now, it's supposed to be only in exceptional circumstances, but these numbers bear out certainly the contention from campaigners and others that this is happening far too often. It is becoming routine in Britain's water system. The Environment Agency describes these as disappointing figures, and they say they look forward to the investment the water companies are making, bearing fruit to bear down on this. This brings us to the point you were making about investment and how do we fix this. It is going to cost billions of pounds. The Infrastructure Commission puts the figure somewhere near £70 billion to completely reform the UK's water system. Even the more modest levels, around £10 billion over the next decade, the water industry has talked about. Where is that money going to come from? Well, there are only two places it can come from in a privatised system: investors or customers. And right now, the water companies that are privatised are talking to the regulator about how much more they can put up our bills to pay for this infrastructure. I'm standing by the Thames here. Thames Water is looking for a 40% increase on bills to try and cover some of this infrastructure. Of course, much of this spending, many customers thought they'd already paid for. Big issue that the water industry is having to deal with, is a legacy of dividends being taken out by investors over the years since the industry was privatised. So rather than investing, the argument runs, in infrastructure that would prevent sewage heading into our public waterways, they've been taking money out. Now, trying to square this circle right now, the water regulator, Ofwat, and the companies are talking about how they come up with a settlement that enables the investment in infrastructure, a fair return for investors, and bills that we can bear. In the meantime, sewage is pouring into our waterways, millions of hours every year.